Jakarta, CNBC Indonesia. Surprisingly, the image of the Indonesian red and white flag side by side with the South Korean flag on the body of a South Korean KFX or KF-21 fighter jet. Indonesia initially collaborated with South Korea on this project, but lately there has been no clarity. On this day, the prototype 4.5 generation KF-21 fighter jet was officially launched in South Korea, which was attended by Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto. South Korea itself already has long-term plans in the development of this fighter jet. South Korea will begin production of up to 120 prototypes of the country's original fighter jets for use in real combat by 2032. South Korean media Yonhap quoted South Korean President Moon Jae-in announcing his plans at an unveiling ceremony for the KF-21 Boramae fighter prototype held at the Korea Aerospace headquarters. Industries Kai, in the southern city of Sachon, South Gyeongsang Province. South Korea embarked on an 8.8 trillion won (112 trillion Indonesian rupiahs) program to replace the Air Force's aging fleet of F-4 and F-5 jets at the end of 2015. We have opened a new era of self-defense and set a milestone in the development of the aviation industry, said Moon in his speech. Moon explained that the fighter jets will be in full production as soon as they complete ground and air tests. We plan to deploy 40 jets by 2028 and a total of 120 by 2032, he said. We have opened a new era of self-defense and also set a milestone in the development of the aviation industry, Moon said in his speech. Moon explained that the fighter jets will be in full production as soon as they complete ground and air tests.
The manufacture of this semi-stealth fighter that was developed since 2011 experienced problems and was almost cancelled because the development of the 4.5 generation multi-role fighter was still hampered by the procurement of several components, namely, electronically scanned array (AESA) radar, infrared search and track (IRST), electronic optics targeting pod (EOTGP), and radio frequency jammer, including a technical assistance agreement from the United States. The manufacture of fighter aircraft, which cost Rp. 21.6 trillion, is predicted to have the ability to exceed British-made Eurofighter and US-made F-18 fighters. This is because the aircraft is designed with advanced aerodynamic technology and has high maneuverability and is equipped with semi-stealth capabilities, semi-conformal missile launchers, advanced avionics, and air refueling, including a special ability, namely destroying enemy electronic systems, are called electronic jammers. The Japanese newspaper the Asahi Shimbun, citing sources in South Korea, said there were financing constraints on the Indonesian side. Of the total costs that must be borne by Indonesia, as of February 2021, the country has only paid around 227.2 billion won, still less than 30% of the total dependence charged, and is due at the end of 2020, Asahi quoted sources as saying. The source. The South Korean newspaper Dong-A Ilbo, on May 5, 2021, also reported that Indonesia also requested that South Korea provide 10% relief at the end of last year. The Korea Defense Agency denied this, but said that, "We understand that the two countries are still discussing the issue of unpaid fees," as quoted by the Asahi Shimbun. Kwon Tae-won, president of the Korea Defense Diplomacy Association and member of the advisory board of the Joint Staff of the South Korean Armed Forces, said, "The prototype has been completed and we are not in the stage to discuss any more financing schemes," adding that the mass production of the aircraft is urgently needed by the ginseng country, to facing North Korea's nuclear and missile threats, the Asahi Shimbun reports. The Indonesian government, through the spokesperson for the Defense Minister Prabowo, Donald Ansar Simanjuntak, refused to comment on the issue of financing constraints, but explained that, Indonesia through our experts was also involved from the start technically and mechanically in the manufacture of the aircraft, he told Asahi on April 9. The South Korean side is still optimistic that this project will continue together with Indonesia. Defense Minister Prabowo has shown a strong desire for the success of the KFX IFX project in a meeting with President Moon Jae-in. This is considered as something meaningful, said a press release from the South Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs Saturday, April 10, 2021. And Prabowo said, cooperation projects with South Korea, including the KFX IFX project, must be successful, continued that, we will try to overcome obstacles and difficulties. Moffat MD ensures that KFX IFX project talks with South Korea continue. Previously, Indonesia and South Korea agreed to improve bilateral relations in the defense sector. One of the points of increasing cooperation in the defense sector is continuing the joint project for the manufacture of the KFX, IFX fighter aircraft. Development of the KFX aircraft was started by the Indonesian and South Korean governments on March 9, 2009. The total project financing until 2026 is planned to be around $8 billion and divided between South Korea 80% and Indonesia 20%. However, the Indonesian government through the Ministry of Defense had planned to renegotiate the financing of the fighter aircraft manufacturing program. This renegotiation step was carried out after previously Indonesia was reported to have experienced delinquency in the cost of the joint project. Currently, the government will carry out the next stage of renegotiation related to the cost share that must be paid by the government of Indonesia, including renegotiations related to the sustainability of the project, said Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto spokesman Donald Ansar Simanjuntak in his statement. Defense Minister of the Republic of Indonesia Prabowo Subianto hoped that Indonesia and South Korea can strengthen industrial cooperation in the defense sector. Prabowo expressed his hope when meeting South Korean Prime Minister Chung Sye-kyeon during the courtesy call of the Indonesian Defense Minister to the South Korean Prime Minister's office in Seoul, Friday. During the meeting, Prabowo also appreciated the friendly relations between Indonesia and South Korea under the framework of a special strategic partnership. The Indonesian Minister of Defense realizes the importance of South Korea as Indonesia's partner in contributing to maintaining peace and improving welfare at the national, regional and international levels, said the Public Relations Bureau of the Secretariat General of the Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Indonesia in a written broadcast in Jakarta.